Gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. So, in a little update tonight, missing from public eyes for quite some time, Tri-City Maloney MP Camille Robinson-Regis has revealed that she underwent a major surgery with complications and is still in the recovery process. Her absence from recent PNM public and political event raised questions. A long-time frontline PNM member, Robinson-Regis previously served as Women's League chairman and a leader of the House. Those roles are now held by Dr. Nayan Gasby-Dolly and Marvin Gonzalez, respectively. So we just want to wish Camille a speedy recovery from her surgeries, viewers. You know, it's sad when someone has to do a surgery. Sometimes it's successful, sometimes it's not, sometimes there's a lot of complications. But we want to wish her a speedy recovery to come back in the political arena for us to talk about her and for Camille to defend the PNM government, which she is the leader. So moving on. Hindus from all parts of the country gathered on Tuesday at the Diwali Nagar to celebrate the much anticipated Kali Yatra festival, dedicated to goddess Kali, a fierce form of Divine Mother who represents power, destruction of evil, and protection for devotees. Celine Bansilal has more in the story, viewers.
The 13th annual Kali Yatra festival opened on Tuesday at the Diwali Nagar grounds, drawing in large crowds of devotees and well-wishers adorned in traditional Indian garments. The religious event will continue until August 24th and has already been marked by vibrant expressions of faith, devotion, and cultural pride. At its heart, the festival seeks to promote understanding of Goddess Kali, who is often misunderstood outside of Hindu tradition. Kali refers to the goddess herself, while Yatra means journey. As such, the festival is both a pilgrimage and a celebration, honoring the Divine Mother through ritual, music, dance, and sacred teachings. Devotee and supporter of Trinidad and Tobago Yatra Committee, Rahul Ramphali, explains how the festival began 13 years ago.
What began as a simple journey from temple to temple gradually expanded as the movement grew, eventually finding its present home at the NCIC Diwali Nagar, where it now graces the main stage. From its humble beginnings as a single-day procession, the festival has blossomed into a week-long celebration of devotion and culture.
This year, the event holds special significance as the entire festival is dedicated to Ma Bhavatarni, a revered form of Kali known as the liberator of the world.
Unlike other forms of Ma Kali, as Ma Bhavatarni Kali, she is compassionate and motherly, embodying the role of protector and savior of all souls. In devotion, Ma Bhavatarini is seen as the mother who rescues her children from all sorrows, sins, fears, and attachments, granting them liberation and divine love.
He explains the importance of unveiling the goddess.
After 13 years of devotion and effort, we have been blessed to bring to Trinidad and Tobago the first ever exact replica of Ma Bhavatarini, carved in marble coming from Kolkata, West Bengal, India.
Rahul explains what transpires during the 7 days of the Kali festival.
From the first night to the third night, we begin by doing worship and glorification to the clay Ma Kali Murti, preceded by Katha and Satsang, with devotional performances of dance and song to the Divine Mother. The fourth and fifth night, we honor the Divine Mother through the magnificent cultural performances of song and dance, with special pujas, seeking her blessings and thanking her for her unconditional love, protection, and strength.
In a message to young devotees, Rahul encourages them to walk without fear.
Her fierce love will shatter fear and guide you through life's struggles. Hold fast to her worship, and she will awaken your inner strength, wisdom, and devotion.
Celine Bansilal, Real Talk Studios.
So viewers, from time after time, we at Real Talk Studios here, we try to bring to you, the viewers, the festivals of each religion sector in our country. The Hindus, the Muslims, the Baptists, the Roman Catholic, the Orisha. From time to time, you're going to see something new right here on Real Talk. So we want to thank Celine for that, viewers. As we move on, displaced and discouraged, 4 Princeton families are calling for help after losing their home to a landslip in Sahara Trace, Princeton. The residents lost their house and the landslip between 2017 and 2024 and are demanding compensation from the Water and Sewerage Authority. Listen to this.
I am pleading to someone authority, WASA. We need compensation. We need a house. It's not one family. It's not one house. It's 4 houses. And with the 4 houses, there's 5 families. So we're asking for assistance, we're asking for some kind of help.
So Trinidad and Tobago, between 2017 and 2024, they lost their house. The road fell under the jurisdiction of the Princeton Regional Corporation and is also under threat as residents state the temporary work done to the road has not helped.
The backfill here with sand and the slush in the back of me here, the water and the heavy vehicle pass on the hardcore on top. It pressed down everything, and every week the corporation have to send a load or 2 loads of hardcore material and put here for the last 2 months.
So viewers, now that a new government is in place, Ramzan Hussein wants the Prime Minister to intervene. So these people lost their land, they lost their house due to a landslip. A landslip. And they are demanding that WASA compensate them. So I want to ask Marvin Gonzalez, who was the Minister of Public Utilities at one point in time. Were you not managing WASA affairs? Were your managers and them wasn't following up on landslips that were caused by leakage? Because over the years, a lot of people have been complaining that they have lost their house, their home, landslip due to WASA. Who in WASA is following up these things? What department in WASA is following up these things? Throughout Trinidad and Tobago, we hear people complaining of losing their home due to WASA carelessness. Reports after reports after reports going into WASA. Landslips, landslides, people losing house starting to cave, house cracking, road all over Trinidad. We hearing people complaining. And what is WASA actually doing? Is there a department that follows these things? You know, it's sad. It's sad that a leakage from a line that belongs to WASA is causing people in Trinidad and Tobago to lose their home. Hopefully, under this new administration, somebody's going to be held for landslips, leakage that caused landslip and people to lose their homes. Hopefully, with this new administration in place, something is going to be done about it. Let's just watch and see. St. Anne's MP, East MP, Dr. Nian Gasby Dolly. You know, I just laugh when I hear his name, you know. Serious. Has questions about the status of the book grant scheme. In light of the pending opening of the new school term, the minister said applications had been submitted under the PNM and had been processed or processing. Listen to this.
We would have implemented this as government, the PNM, in 2024. And based on our experience at that time, we would have moved up the schedule for application. So applications were actually between December 2024 and January 2025. So therefore, in April, when this government would have taken office, those applications would have been well in and being processed. So at this time, we are about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks since the government has extended the vacation period. We are about 3 weeks away, and we have not been hearing anything from the Ministry of Education with regards to those grants. And parents are very concerned. We also have the situation of thousands, tens of thousands of persons who are out of jobs now and who are depending on that book grant to be able to assist their students. And we have not heard anything, and we would like to hear from the government.
So viewers, Gatsby Dolly asked about the vacation remedial program that she had introduced for low achieving pupils moving from primary to secondary school regarding the government's promise of laptops for pupils in September. She reminded that these were due to pupil entering Form 1 in secondary school. Gatsby Dolly.
So I know that the Ministry of Education had made a commitment to the children of Trinidad and Tobago to have laptops delivered in September. We would like to hear an update with regards to that. However, that laptop program was only dealing with Form 1 students. But when we are speaking about the e-examinations, that really has to deal with how the schools are being resourced with devices so that the Form 5 and Form 6 students can do e-examinations, which is a much cheaper way and will help to bring down the cost. I know we are grappling with cost in this country.
So viewers, Gatsby Dolly also noted that the police service have continued to work with the Education Ministry in an initiative that had been restarted under her tenure in 2022 by posting police officers inside certain schools to deal with discipline issue. She also called for updates on plans for police to patrol outside of schools at the end of schools. Gatsby.
At this time is I've seen that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has continued to join with the Ministry of Education to put the police, partnering with the police to put the police into schools to assist with discipline issues. This was a program that has been ongoing for some time. In 2022, we would have re-engaged the police on this matter, and so we would have been seeing success. In some schools, we would have identified certain schools where the police were collaborating, and so we would like to hear a bit more about this, and we want to also hear about the plans of the police to patrol outside of the schools at the end of school, because what we noticed is that once the police were involved in the school, there was a reduction of violence in the school. However, outside in the urban areas and so on, that was also an issue. So we would like to hear a bit more about how the implementation will be taking place.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, let's reflect back in 2024 or 2023. Was there police presence in the school according to Gatsby Dolly, because this was under her plan in 2022? Was there police presence in schools according to Gatsby Dolly? Because 22, 23, and 24, it was terrible. Fights, fights, fights. In and out the school. So I would have expected Gatsby Dolly, seeing that you're on the platform, asking the UNC information about school patrolling, schools inside the schools, about the book grants, tens of thousands of children depending on books, parents depending on the grants. What were your ministry doing from 2020 to 2025? This is what I have to ask you. How many fights were there in school from 2020 to 2025 presently? How many police visited school from 2020 to 2025? How many students were expelled from school fights from 2020 to 2025? How many book grants were given out, Gatsby Dolly, from 2020 to 2025? These are my questions to you now. You questioning Education Ministry on everything that you want information on. But I am asking you, Gatsby Dolly, on national television, give us a report from 2020 to 2025, under your Ministry of Education, how many book grants were issued each year? How many students were dismissed or expelled from school concerning fighting? How many schools did police patrol outside? How many schools police were posted inside the school? You want to ask the UNC? I am asking you. I am asking you for reports on these things. Not only me, I am asking you on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago, because I'll tell you something. Ministers love to come onto the platform and ask for this and demand that and want to see what production here and want to know what plan you have here. But the thing is, when you were minister, what did you do? I am asking on behalf of the parents of Trinidad and Tobago. And I would love to see you, Gatsby Dolly, come out with that report. Now, she also called for updates on plans for police to patrol outside of schools at the end of schools. So Gatsby Dolly, again and again, you have been there for 5 years. For 5 years, could we get a report on this from your ministry? From 2020 to, let's say, 2024. 4 years. 4 years. Can your ministry produce these reports? I, together with the hard-working parents in Trinidad and Tobago, would like to know. We would like to know. So, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, Benjamin on police patrol at schools when we return.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Welcome back.
So trying to make a welcome back to Real Talk. Remember viewers, we are Real Talk Financing. We are offering you 5% on our fixed deposit. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving you your interest up front. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago. No other financial institution is giving you your interest up front. And when we say 5%, we mean 5%. If you invest $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 viewers, within 14 days time, our office is going to call you to come and collect your interest up front. So you don't have to wait 5 years down the road to collect your interest. Imagine that, eh? All the banks, the credit union, other financial institutions, how come you all ain't bring out something to capture the public? It takes a man with brain and education to bring out something like this. So viewers, yes, it's only Real Talk Financing is doing this in Trinidad and Tobago. Very soon, viewers, you will hear Real Talk Financing up the Caribbean. I could tell you that. Up the Caribbean. So back to our stories tonight. Earlier today, to answer Gaspidoli questions, I know all the PNM ministers will be down on the UNC ministers for answers and answers and answers. But listen to this, Gaspidoli. Earlier today, the Education Ministry and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service discussed whether or not police officers will be armed at school. Last month, Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa said police will be placed in schools for the new school term. Deputy Police Commissioner Junior Benjamin stated that the meeting centered on the logics of placing police in schools. Asked to respond to concerns about armed police officers in schools, Benjamin said that formed part of the policy and the policing discussions prior to the meeting with the Ministry of Education. Listen to this.
We are going to be discussing that today, and we're going to be looking at all the possible options, and at the end we will decide the best way forward. What we want to do, again, is to ensure that our schools are better. We want to see this is not just about a short term, but in the long term, we want to see that there are things put in place to ensure that our children, when they come to school, it is for learning and it's not for fighting. And therefore, we would put the necessary things in place to ensure that we have that holistic approach.
Benjamin noted that the meeting isn't about arming police officers at school, but to create a safe environment for all students.
Today, we'll be meeting with the PS and the Ministry of Education so that we could sit down and put together that policy to ensure that we have the requisite police officers, at least in the schools. And it's our intent at the end of the day to see if we could realize the best possible mix that we could have so that we could at least make our schools safer.
So viewers, a few years ago, they had a service that they call MTS. MTS used to maintain the school. MTS had security guards in school. What become of that? What become of that program? How come the MTS not functioning anymore? They used to maintain the school. They used to clean the school. They were perfect for the school. Now, according to Benjamin, some 200 special reserve police officers will be graduating tomorrow, and half of them were trained to be in schools. So viewers, in the new school term, there will be almost 100 police officers in school. Let's hope this brings an ease to the, I have to say, the fighting industry in school, you know, because that is a new industry that have been created in our secondary school. Learn how to fight, defend, bust head, break up nose. Let's hope in 2025 that is something of the past. Moving along, Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Minister Khadija Amin have stated that she will not be intimidated by threats to her safety and remains committed to serving her constituents and the wider public. Amin praised the security service for their efforts. Listen to this.
I will not be intimidated by any threats. I want to commend those who are responsible for our safety for their continuous advice, their continuous information gathering, intelligence gathering, and putting the necessary systems in place to keep us safe.
Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sai. Great program. You continue to bring so much information to the citizens of this country so that they will be educated and gain knowledge and common sense and intelligence. So God bless you, man. Great program. But anyway, I have some information to share to the citizens of this country. And I know you know all what I'm going to say. From the fishermen at Moruga, they give me some information and they tell me to speak about it and advise the Prime Minister to be careful of every information that is presented to her, intelligence that is presented to her by this fella they call Gavero. And we all concerned, you know, I myself very concerned when I see a man, Gavero, and you have Alexander as the Minister of National Security, you could say today, they bring no security to this country. And when you have a man like Gavero, you have a pirogue with 13 drums on it, and you know what he linked it to? The 8 people that Roger Alexander read out their name and say they are gang members and they're going to put down the hit on the ministers and so on, and he linked all of that to it. So Gavero is saying no, well, he don't have to deal with it again because 5 of them was on that boat. He said 5 of them was on that boat. Gavero, today, this modern day, I want to tell you, Gavero, jugglers are using that. When you put 13 drums on a boat, that the horsepower of those engines on the boat is 75 horsepower, Gavero. You know that? That the information he presented to the Prime Minister, that is not authentic. And that is fraudulent information. That boat have no connection to do with Trinidad and Trinidad fishermen. So he manipulated everything. Gavero, call my number. Look, I know you're running out everybody number. As I finish this program, you run out the number to see who calling this program. Call me, you will get my number on this program. That is what they're doing, you know, Mr. Sai. I'm not presenting anything reliable, something with merit to the citizens of this country. And he feel he could fool away and glide away through in this country, you know. Gavero, nobody know your credentials as yet, you know. Nobody is using a boat with 13 drums to go to Venezuela to run drugs and ammunition. The nearest point to this country is Venezuela, northeast. That is off Shaka Shakari side. You know that on your intelligence briefing and they know all of that, right? So that is the northeast of Shaka Shakari. A drone, if you go on a clear day, you will see the quarrying on Venezuela, northeast point in Venezuela, the quarrying there. All they have to do is fly a drone to Shaka Shakari or one of those islands, Nelson Island or Gaspe Island, one of those islands to drop drugs and guns. Gavero, wake up and don't fool Don't try to fool anybody in this citizen. In this country, there are people here who work in national security, every aspect for what 35 years of the service, and they have intelligence. So if you want intelligence, find the people who have intelligence. And Madam Prime Minister, rethink any intelligence this man is presenting to you, rethink the position of it and get a second opinion. Mr. Said, God bless you for this platform you provide. We will fix this country. I tell you, all I tell you here, Mr. Said, you know that. You smile and you know that, what I am telling you. So God bless you and your staff. Take care.
So viewers, I'll tell you something, To leave Trinidad on a pirogue, to go Venezuela to bring contraband, you have to have a very, very powerful engine on a boat. Common sense is a heck of a thing, That's all I would say for now. So back to Khadija Amin. She also stressed the importance of maintaining her presence in the St. Augustine and across Trinidad doing her work. Listen to Khadija one more time.
It's important for me as an elected representative to be present, continue to be present in St. Augustine constituency, but throughout Trinidad in local government. And our government has always been very hands-on in terms of governance, in terms of meeting with people, in terms of consulting, working with stakeholders, and we will continue that. I want the public to be assured that the threats or perceived threats will not hinder our work and our commitment.
Amin also stated that corruption has cost taxpayers millions of dollars and commended the Prime Minister for taking a stance on the matter. Patija.
The Prime Minister has been bold enough to take the bull by its horns. It is not only URP that you had corruption, the CPEP and the reforestation programs where they were giving contracts to friends and family, but there are several places in almost every ministry where you can find contracts being given for exaggerated amounts, where you cannot find value for work, where very little, if any work at all, would have been performed, where you had legal fees being paid, millions of dollars for consultation, legal consultations and so on.
Meanwhile, criminologist Dr. Randy Sipasada said that these threats indicate that the government is on the attack and hurting criminals. He said, therefore, there is strong pushback from criminals. Listen to this.
What it suggests, to me at least, is that the criminal element senses a real threat from the current administration. The current administration, as you know, has put forth several action items on their agenda, and they've done it within the first 100 days of being in office, and it's a fairly extensive list of action items.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the PNM administration wants to know what the UNC did in the first 100 days in office. One thing I can see is that the first 100 days in office, the work that they are doing, they are getting attacks from the criminal network in Trinidad and Tobago. Why? Why is there a bounty placed on minister's head? Why? We never saw anything like this under the PNM. How come as the UNC gone in there the first 100 days, a hit is being placed? Why? Is it that they're cutting certain works? Is it that the enemy or the criminal network don't like the UNC administration governing the country? Why? There must be some logical reason, viewers. There must be some logical reasons as to why hits were placed on three ministers' head. Is it that the UNC government is cutting funding to criminal network or criminal element? I don't know. Somebody have to have answers for these. Hopefully the Homeland Minister would have. But nevertheless, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hear from Sturge, Wayne Sturge, after this.
We'll be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over, with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Welcome back.
So viewers, although the mystery continues to surround the origin of allegation that threat issued to Defense Minister Wayne Sturge, at least 2 of his cabinet colleagues have assured that he is not affected and his ability to perform his duties is on top of the line. This despite his non-appearance in the last week. Sidestepping questions, Justice Minister David Maraj and Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander urged the media to get answers from Sturge himself. Alexander said, Sturge is alive and well. Alexander.
He's alive and well.
Sorry?
He's alive and well and performing his duties.
Alexander also urged all questions regarding the alleged threat to be directed to Sturge. Both men also declined to confirm if they had increased their personal security as well as that of close family members. Meanwhile, Maraj indicated it's being considered. Alexander declined to address the issue. Asked if the cabinet had met to discuss what had been described as a serious matter, Maraj declined comment, citing confidentiality and security concerns. So Trinidad and Tobago, Sturge is well, he is fine, he's performing his duties. I'll tell you something. Being in the security industry is a serious thing. Sometimes you get stressed in your life. Sometimes you need to beef up security. Sometimes you need to understand, you need to analyze the type of threat you're getting, the kind of people coming at you. I could tell you that because I'm into the security business. And let me tell you something. It doesn't be easy, especially if you are a public figure in the public domain. You just have to watch what you're doing. You have to watch where you're going. You just have to look at families, affairs, all these things. Threat is something business people receive on a daily basis. It's something we have to live with. The only thing we could do is put measures in place to counteract an incident or an event that will take place. I just do that from time to time. But nevertheless, it is a life not many of us want. But at the end of the day, when you have to do what you have to do, you also have to protect what you need to protect at all cost. And I could say that, at all cost. Political scientist Dr. Indira Ramprasad does not believe the government decision to cancel this year's Independence Day parade will have any significant political fallout. Speaking in the wake of public reaction to the announcement, Ramprasad said, while the move has sparked disappointment in some quarters, it is unlikely to carry a long-term consequence for the administration. Listen to this.
I am not discounting the significance of the parade. I am just trying to explain that I don't think it is fatal, politically fatal for one. The government is just, 4 months in. They have a lot of time to build political capital, so to speak, political clout, and that matters most in elections. Mm-hmm. What is next coming is a local government election.
Citing security concerns, during the ongoing state of emergency, the government announced that this year Independence Day parade, fireworks, and official function will be replaced with a National Day of Prayer and Reflection on August 31st. Ramprasad further argued and agreed that voters tend to be influenced more by issues of governance, service delivery, and the cost of living than by symbolic events. In our country today, I can safely say we are more concerned about our daily bread, our job, opportunities, favors. That is what we are concerned with today, not yesterday, today going forward. Because when you go on your bed tonight and you sleep and you get up tomorrow, you know what you're looking forward for? Where is my next meal coming from? Where is my next dollar coming from? So Trinidad and Tobago is more taken up with where is our next dollar coming from rather than a parade. Because over the years, the parade, it hasn't done anything for us. Taxpayers' money being spent. And year after year after year, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, nevertheless, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we return, there's lots more machine to clean up the Sargassum at the sea. When we return.
be right back.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, a collaborative effort among the Embassy of Japan, the United Nations Development Program, and the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, has brought to success the purchase of a specialized equipment that will allow for the ease of cleaning up affected area on the beach. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want you all to take a listen to this.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster, and it's impacting many countries in the region. Thanks to the support of the government of Japan, 5 countries in the region are benefiting from this collaboration: St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Barbados, and we are very lucky also to have this collaboration here in Trinidad and Tobago. Ambassador Mesawa, thank you very much to you and the people of Japan for this vision and this support on something that is strategic. Sargassum is not new. I'm not an expert, and we have experts around the table. But since 2011, we've seen the influence of Sargassum becoming a real problem.
So what is he talking about, Trinidad and Tobago? I know we caught you off guard here with that, but nevertheless, let us see how much you're paying attention. The ambassador of Japan officially handed over the keys to 2 pieces of equipment specifically modified to remove seaweeds from affected coastline. Ambassador of Japan to Trinidad and Tobago said he witnessed the first hand on how seaweeds has affected livelihoods in coastal community. Listen to this.
Another Japanese company is named the WEF Corporation successfully completed the manufacturing process of fertilization through the reactive oxygen treatment of Sargassum. Usually, Sargassum need 3 to 4 years to decompose and make to be fertilized in natural environment. But this company developed the technology of the fertilization within only 8 days. So almost a week, Sargassum changed into fertilizer.
Minister of Rural Development and Local Government Minister Khadija Amin said her ministry is committed to ensuring the equipment is utilized effectively, Trinidad and Tobago. Utilized effectively. Imagine this, eh? So all these years, seaweeds have been pushing up to our shores. Sometimes there were groups in Trinidad and Tobago that would take time to clean the seaweeds off the coast of Manzanilla, sometimes Toko, sometimes Cedros area. But we have a machine now in Trinidad and Tobago that will do the job for us. The 2 pieces of equipment will be tested in Speyside, Tobago and Guayari in the coming weeks. Facilitated through the UNDP, the Trinidad and Tobago will benefit from an allocation of US $2 million for equipment. Other pieces of equipment are expected by February 2026. So Trinidad and Tobago, we want to thank the ambassador of Japan for doing us a favor. Imagine that, eh? So staying on the ministry now, Energy Ministry. New science resource kit for primary and secondary school across the country have been designed to aid teachers in conducting practical lessons about alternative energy source. Falling under the Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Project, the initiative comes from a partnership between the Ministry of Energy and the energy industries, the Ministry of Education, and the University of Trinidad and Tobago, UTT. 100 teachers were trained by UTT in the use of the kit, and 450 kits were handed over to the Ministry of Education for distribution on Wednesday. Here's more on this.
It's a commercialized research and activities, not only research. And some research went in this. So, I think UTT, Mr. Chairman, so you should set up a business unit to manufacture and sell these things throughout the Caribbean and Latin America and elsewhere. We import a lot of science kits.
He emphasized that sustainable energy will shape the world economic future, which I believe is also true, viewers. Listen to this.
The renewable energy sector is expected to create about 43 million jobs annually globally. That's a report in 2023 from the International Renewable Energy Agency. In the Caribbean, studies show that 60% of new jobs will be green jobs. Or the new green jobs will require advanced technical and vocational training. And this ties directly what UTT is about.
So viewers, meanwhile, the chairman of UTT, Professor Selwyn Kujo, applauded the academic institution for its contribution to the project. Listen to this.
Today's effort is just another example of our continuing to make our society more aware, as you said, and that was sent to me, the key concepts in renewable energy through engaging in experimental-based activities. And I think that's marvelous and wonderful. It is hoped that these kits that were designed for teachers at the primary and secondary school levels would enhance the teaching and learning of students in the arenas of renewable energy and sustainable practices.
So Trinidad and Tobago, for those of you who do not believe in renewed energy, for resource,